Hello everyone, my name is Protesilaos, also known as Prot. As you can see here, I'm holding two puppies. These are my two new dogs. On my right hand I have Milon, and on the left hand there is Orion. They are brothers. Let me place them on the ground so they can go and have some fun, and me, I can sit here and talk a bit about them and about handling dogs in general. So the puppies are joining my other two dogs, Atlas, who is right there, and Raizou, who is somewhere there barking at the wind. I'm not sure at what he is barking, so maybe the two other dogs will make their appearance, but we will see. In the meantime, I have these puppies with me, and they are feisty, they are really playful, and they are having a very good time. Let me start with the puppies. The idea was for me to get two puppies at the end of July 2025. There is a person further up the mountain who has a female dog, and this dog gave birth to a litter, I think, of 8 puppies. And we were in contact. He is giving all the puppies away for free. I think all of them have been given out already. And the idea was that he would give them out at around the 2 month mark, but he changed his mind, and he was like, hey, I'm giving the puppies away now, are you interested? And I'm like, yes, I will pass by and I will pick two puppies. And eventually I got these two boys, and Orion is right here with me, and he's really enjoying chewing on my hand. It must be really tasty, my friend, to do that. The puppies are really young, so I think they are about 40, 45 days old. Um, if you are not experienced, it's generally better to wait for 2 or 3 months before getting a puppy. You don't want to get them too young because they are a handful and they require more of your time and patience and care to be good puppies and to grow up in a stable way and to have the confidence they need to succeed in their life. Because the puppies are really young, they lack at this point the requisite concentration levels to do formal training. So you cannot actually call their attention. They are all over the place. They are just exploring the world. They are interested in play fighting. They are interested in jumping around. Look at this. And they don't really pay attention to your instructions. So if I call them and I'm like, hey, you have to pay attention to me and you have to follow my lead, it doesn't work. What you can do at this early stage, so Milon is sitting right there now. I think he wants to go in the room, which is right here. He wants to go in the room and sleep. We have been playing. Anyway, he will wait a little bit more. The thing with dogs of this young age is that you cannot do formal training. So, what you have to do instead is conditioning. And this means that you have to treat them in such a way as to communicate patterns of behavior that are discernible and which the dogs can associate with certain states of affairs, certain outcomes. Concretely, dogs at this age, but generally, but especially at this age, they have a really simple way of behaving. Normally, they sleep. If they wake up, they will walk around a bit, and what they are searching for is to pee or poo. Generally, they will try to do so further away from where they are sleeping. Of course, if they are confined to the same space for too long, eventually they won't bother. They will just do their needs wherever they can. But otherwise, they will prepare to move a bit further away. This means that as soon as the dog starts moving around, what you can do is you can show it the way where it should go. Concretely, for me, I open the door. You have seen the video where I show the inside of my room. I open the door, and so the dog now can walk outside, and here there is nature all around. Here at the hut, there is dirt. You have seen it in many other videos, no need to show you. And the dog can just walk out and satisfy its needs. But what this does concretely is that it establishes an association where it's like, oh, I need to go out, and the door opens. Therefore, the door opening means that I am going out and I am getting what I need. And as a matter of fact, Orion here, who has been really playful, you can see him, uh, already got the memo. And earlier, he got up from his sleep and he went to the door and he was trying with his tiny little paw over here to knock on the door. Of course, telling me that, hey, why is this thing here? It was supposed to open and for me to walk outside. So of course I did that, and he did what he had to do, and that was great. Other types of conditioning are exactly what you see me here doing. You may not realize it, but this is actually training. You will notice that I gently touch him in spots of his body that he would normally consider sensitive, where he is vulnerable. Like this position, where with the belly up, it's a really vulnerable position for dogs. So for them to sit in this position, it means that they trust you. So we are now building trust. He builds trust in his own body and in me handling him. So we are developing a stable relationship this way. The fact that he is chewing on my finger, of course he does it because he is teething, but also because he is showing me affection. He wants to play with me. And this also has the added effect of trusting that if I place my hand in his mouth, it won't be for his harm. It's safe. And this is very important because as they grow up, they will get into trouble. They will chew on something they really shouldn't, and you have to be able to act to remove the item in a timely fashion. So, of course, if the dog doesn't trust you and it's a large dog and with strong jaws, you don't want to put your hand in there because you are risking your fingers. You are risking losing your fingers. So Orion, right now he is about to fall asleep. Milon, I thought he was about to sleep, and now he is full of energy again. He is right here. Let me bring him into the picture. And the idea is that you just are relaxed about the situation. You don't try to do any kind of formal training like, hey, now we are supposed to be doing this, and I assume the role of the trainer and you assume the role of the student. No, there is none of that. You are casual about it, you are relaxed, and you are easygoing. The point is that you are consistent. You don't communicate inadvertently, but you don't communicate inconsistent messages. You want, when you do something, for it to have predictable consequences so that the dog, even with its yet to develop brain, establish the connections and discern the patterns and be like, oh, this produces that, therefore such and such. Because of course they do reason, they do have intelligence. Actually, they are really smart. So you want to empower them, you want to set them up for success, and you do that by being consistent. Actually, I would say that even works for people. Like if you are consistent with your messaging, that has many advantages. If you give mixed messages the whole time, people don't know what to expect of you. But let's limit it to dogs. Consistent messaging, you are not ambiguous, you are not equivocal. You say one thing and it means exactly that, or more properly, you do one thing and it means exactly that. Maybe you are seeing now, I don't know if it's caught on camera, they are play fighting and they are feisty. You may be hearing them. Let's see. Let's see. So, so of course, I am in control of the situation. The thing, though, is that I don't want to be overly protective. I want to give them a chance to fight, to give them a chance to more generally explore their limits and push against the boundaries. Because this is didactic. It is didactic in the sense that they learn to communicate when enough is enough. Like right now, if he is in pain, he will be vocal about it and be like, hey, release me, I'm in pain. And I don't want to deny them of the opportunity of this lesson. So I am here, I see what is happening. I know that if I have to intervene, I will do it and I will handle it gracefully, but I don't need to. The point is, with dogs of this age, but with dogs in general, you don't want, unless they are well trained, of course, like Atlas or Raizou, you don't want to leave them unattended in an uncontrolled environment. You always want to have them in a place where they will not harm themselves by accident. Let me bring the puppies into the picture. So let's have them here. Because it's easier for me to talk and to also pay attention to them. So there they are, the babies. My other dogs are not coming into the picture. I hear Raizou barking, but I don't see him. So Milon is the feistiest of the two right now. Generally, they both are really feisty and playful and energetic. Anyway, the point is you don't want to leave dogs unattended. You want to be responsible and you want to have forethought. So you want to check what might be problematic. For example, there is a wire on the ground. That is potential trouble. So you want to make sure that the wire is not there, right? Or there is a corner behind the desk where the dog could, in theory, go and get stuck. So you want to make sure that either you place an obstacle there or you widen the gap, that sort of thing. So look at that. In general, you want to operate with foresight. You don't want to set them up for failure. Of course, once they are well trained, you are more relaxed about the whole situation. But until then, you have to put in the work. Which brings me to the important point. You see these puppies over here, and of course, they are really cute. And you may think that, oh, they are so cute. I absolutely love them. I cannot resist cuteness. Therefore, I will get a puppy as well. And of course, I understand cuteness is really powerful and it's really adorable and it always triggers us into action. But we have to be able to think long term and to understand that these are not toys. These are the closest thing we have to the wolf. Yes, all dogs, regardless of size, are relatives of the wolf. Of course, your toy sized dog will not be as potent as a wolf, but it nevertheless has the instincts of a predator and it has the instincts of running around, of sniffing around, of being territorial, of being aggressive towards other animals. Granted, if it's really small, it may not be able to act out of that, but the propensity, the drive is there. More so for larger dogs, where they will need to run around, they will need to expend their energy, they will need to go on the prowl. Even if they don't catch anything, it doesn't matter. It's not for their survival, it's for them to meet that need they have. And you see, both of them are chewing on my fingers now. So it's for them to meet that need they have. Meaning that when you take a dog into your home, you are taking on a lifelong commitment to tend to the animal every day of the year for the entirety of its life. And the dogs, depending on their size, will live between somewhere between 10 and close to 20 years. The larger animals will have a shorter life expectancy. The smaller ones will have a longer life expectancy. There are some breeds that live fewer than 10 years, and in my opinion, that is the result of bad breeding. But anyway, I won't elaborate. The point is that generally the dog will live between 10 and 20 years, let's say. So you are making a long term commitment. And this means that if you are in a tiny apartment, or if you are away from home all day, or if you have a lifestyle where you travel frequently, whatever it is, you have to consider that this kind of lifestyle is probably not consistent with having a dog, because you won't be able to satisfy the needs of your dog. The puppies here want to fight. They want to fight it out. So go ahead. Go ahead and see what you can do, my friends. You want to be responsible, and you will have to be responsible from day one until the final day. And there is no exception. Like, there will be days where you may feel like, oh, you know what, I would rather just sit on my couch and do nothing. But the dog will have none of that. It will want to go out, it will want to go running, it will want to expend its energy in ways that are fulfilling for it. So you have to get up and give it what it needs, and there is no exception to that. If you cannot do that, my opinion and my strong opinion is that you shouldn't have a dog. Not because there is something inherent in dog ownership that is really hard, but because simply there is the time component. It's not like you cannot do it. Like, if you put in the effort, it's not too hard to learn how to train a dog. They are quite straightforward. And if you are attentive to the little things, eventually you understand their language and you communicate with them very, very well, and you know what they are saying. Of course, there are people who do this thing where they have all these buttons and the dog will press a button and it says something. I think that's a gimmick, but for the basics, you can definitely understand what the dog wants. Uh, so if you are committed, you can definitely learn how to handle a dog. But if you don't have the time, it doesn't matter how rigorous you are in learning about the dogs and in figuring out the best training methods and whatnot. If you don't have the time, you simply don't have the time. You shouldn't have a dog. Find something else, maybe not a pet, maybe something else altogether, a different kind of activity. But dogs will need your attention. So there is that. The last thing to say, folks, is that a dog, of course, has to be well trained for your own sake, for the sake of the dog, but also for the sake of other people. So, if you take a dog and you have the time, make sure to train it as well as you can. You will do the conditioning that I mentioned earlier, but you will also do the formal training. So, at the very least, you have to teach your dog how to release something that it has in its mouth, because that is the kind of training you need when things get really messy, right? So it has caught on to something it really shouldn't. So you should be able to say, let go, and it will leave it. Okay? At the very least, you teach them that. Of course, there are people who teach them how to spin around and roll on the ground and all these fancy things, and they do these games. That's totally okay, but it's not really necessary for your socialization and your good and secure life with the animal. But if you have the basic commands right, like sit or heel or down, these sorts of things, these are good to have. It's also good exercise for the dog to sharpen its brain, to be sharp, and to be alert. So, what are you doing, my friends? So there is that. I could talk more. If you are interested, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Of course, I have a lot of experience with dogs, and I really like them. I love dogs, of course, obviously. I won't do it in the video, but I kiss my dogs as well, but I won't do it in the video. I think it's endearing and it's cute, and I like it. But of course, each person has their own methods. The point is that you have a good relationship with your dog. You tend to its needs, and you are a good citizen, and the dog is also a good canine citizen, and everybody is happy in your community. So there they are. There they are. Let me pause for the video, maybe. No, let's leave them. So yeah, that's all for today, folks. Thank you very much for your attention. The puppies will continue to learn from me. They will also learn from their peers here, from the other two animals in the pack. So of course I am the pack leader, but dogs actually understand that I am not a dog. They know that I am a different animal. They can tell their kind apart. So it's important also in the training I do that there are good intercanine relations and good interspecies relations as well. So we want to have both. The puppies have been casual. The older dogs have been casual as well, really relaxed, really easygoing. Part of that has to do with the good training of the older dogs, but also the good demeanor of the puppies, as well as my general calm and consistency here. So I think we will have a really good time here in the mountains of Cyprus. So that's all for today, folks. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care and goodbye for now. And of course, I have to terminate the video. So bye bye.